Hi, and welcome to Life Addictions, the Recovery Show. I'm a certified recovery specialist, and my name is John Lausch, and I'll be your host for the next 25 minutes. Today we have a very special guest, Greg Lechman from Victory House. Did I pronounce that right?
Lechman. Close enough.
Good. Craig, introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what it is you do.
All right, great. My name is Greg Lechman, and basically I am a lay minister. And what we do is we're trying to set up a new program for people after they come out of treatment because of what's been going on. There's too much relapse going on.
Yeah.
And so we've come up with what we think is a totally different method for transitioning people out of treatment back into society. One of our programs is Celebrate Recovery, which is a nationwide now program. Actually, it's worldwide. It's probably in 11,000 churches across the world. And it's basically a Christian 12-step program.
So, Craig, welcome to the show. It's Victory House. It's located in Boca Raton, is that right?
Correct, yes.
This show, we talk about drug addiction, alcohol addiction, food addiction, any addiction you can think of. We identify 4 substance addictions, including nicotine as well, and 6 behavioral addictions. Now, Craig, in your what you come across there at Victory House, is it mainly drugs and alcohol?
No, we're basically we look at addiction as addiction. And reading some of your literature while I was waiting for you this morning, you know that any substance that has control over your life or object, that separates you from having a normal life, or is an addiction. So we look at them all the same, whether it's sex, whether it's food, whether it's shopping or whatever.
Victory House is a Christian-based organization, and we often said, getting clean and sober, you have to try every avenue, because addiction is so tough. It gets you at your most vulnerable spots, and it keeps you there. That whether you go to a 12-step meeting, your church, a Christian-based organization, or a recovery center, a rehab, any way you can get clean. But this is one of the avenues, and it's one of the few avenues out there. I mean, you've got rehab centers, you've got 12-step meetings, and you've got your local church or Christian organization. That's what this is, right?
Right. If I take you back a little bit in time, and the fact of the matter is, in the early 30s, when Dr. Bob and Bill W. Came up with the idea for AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, their method of treatment was very simple. Go find the person that was almost ready to die from alcohol at that time,
right,
and they brought him into Dr. Bob's home. Dr. Bob's wife read him the Bible for the whole day, and they took care of them, and they nurtured them, and that's the way Bill W. got clean with Dr. Bob. And that's the way Dr. Bob actually got clean, because he was an alcoholic as well. But when Bill W. came up with the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous, they took it all out of the Bible, basically. So what we do in a Christian 12-step program is we still use the same 12 steps, but we also go back to the Christian scriptures, how they got them and how they derived the 12 steps.
Recovery has been such a big business. I mean, we have a lot of CEOs from rehabs in here, and it's really all business. It's insurance and this and that. But what you guys do is really, like you just said, really back to the basics,
right,
of how recovery and the 12-step process worked.
Well, in the government literature, SAMHSA states that once something becomes a business, then the intentions can be lost or changed very quickly, and ours can't become a business, and that's why AA did not want to become a business as well.
Right.
And basically, we're totally non-profit. We deal with it because the people that are involved with me, we all had our challenges, and we all got victory over our addictions, and we feel that we know the way, and it has to be, money can't be the issue here, and in so many cases it is.
There's so many ways. We have a lot of listeners that are out there, and if you're listening, if you have a family member, if maybe you can't afford a $30,000 a month, $15,000 a month rehab, we often say, go to your church. It doesn't even have to be your church. It could be any church.
Right.
they'll help you. They'll reach out. They'll direct you to a place. And there's many places out there. Victory House is one of many, right?
Right.
That are faith-based and tied in.
And actually, we're planning to be an entity after even Christian treatment center. So you've got your secular treatment centers out there, 30, 60, 90 days. Some of them are longer.
Right.
You also have some Christian programs out there, like as we were leaving your place, the Faith Farm truck was rolling into the back to pick up donations.
Right.
So Faith Farm is a 6 to 9 month residential treatment center, and you can get in there for no charge and stay there and work there. And Dunklin is another one up in Okeechobee. But there's still a problem in that you're in a guarded community, not guarded, but a safe community. But when you get back out into the reality of this crazy world, this is where it all starts to fall apart again, and that's where we want to pick up the treatment. We don't care what treatment center they came out of, as long as they want to know that God, their creator, is their higher power, and they want to take their walk to the next level, then we want to help them for that first year where relapse occurs. That's the big problem, the first year.
I see.
And so we want to take them and put them back. They're coming out of a protected environment. We want to put them into a safe, structured environment and still keep them in that setting, but we want to get them a job. They're going to work for us. We're not sending them out into, can you go get a job so that you can pay us? And we don't know where they are when they're working. We don't know where they pass by. We don't know what store they go into while they're out. So we want to give them a job. We want to give them a paycheck. We want to show them how to use that paycheck, that they have to be responsible. Most addicts don't know how to be responsible for money. It's one of their, fiscal responsibility. I mean, I was the worst of the worst at it. I went through 2 fortunes because I didn't have a clue or respect for money. So we got to teach them respect for money. We got to teach them things like love. They don't know what love is. I started drinking somewhere between the age of 11 and 12. Didn't have a clue what love was. Got married, ruined my first family. This goes on and on and on, and it's a revolving door. Coming out of treatment has also been a revolving door. I mean, you see relapse after relapse. The truth of the matter is, when Bill W. and Dr. Bob started AA, their success rate was 85 to 90%. Today, SAMHSA, the government that does all the statistics, says that AA's recovery rate is 4%.
Right. That's what I hear.
That's not good enough.
No. Now, what do you guys have a recovery rate? What is it?
We haven't got all the numbers, but I would conservatively say that our way is around 50%.
Okay.
And it really is dependent on how much the person wants to get involved, like anything in this right here, which is
now. Say we've got some viewers out there, and they might have a coworker or a family member, or maybe they themselves. What if they're atheist, or what if they don't believe in a higher power, or God, or Jesus Christ? Or what if they're Jewish?
Yeah, and that's a problem because we have many Jewish people in our ministry now that come to know their higher power. But we invite anybody to come to our program and try it. We don't close the door on anybody.
That's good.
Anybody can come any Tuesday night, and there's lots of Celebrate Recoveries out there. As part of Victory House, we have a Celebrate Recovery, but I've started 3 other ones, one in Naples and another one in Boca Raton, and they're all going strong, so we don't care where they go to Celebrate Recovery. They can come to ours on Tuesday night, they can go to Suncoast on Friday night, they can go to any other one of them. We encourage them to go to all of them.
Now, are these meetings?
Yeah, what it is, it takes up a whole evening, and we start out with dinner. We always break bread together because that's Jesus always broke bread with people, and that's what we do. We break bread, we get to know people, we have a nice dinner, and then we go into a large group setting where we do some worship and announcements, and we either alternate with a teaching or a testimony. So we go through a whole year. We have 26 teachings based on the 12 steps, and we have 26 testimonies to cover 52 weeks, so we alternate that.
Okay, so aside from the dinners and the meetings, you also have the Victory House.
Right.
Which is people can stay there for 30 days, 60 days.
Well, Victory House is still in the process of being constructed.
Okay.
What we want to do, and again, it sounds like a backward approach, but we've looked at the way it's happened now, which is come out of treatment, go into a halfway house with no job. struggle in there.
Right.
Maybe find a job as a dishwasher.
Yeah.
The jobs are not great, okay?
Let's get back to the treatment. Do you guys provide treatment?
No.
Okay, so it's
No.
not treatment.
They're coming out of treatment. They can
Right.
come out of a correctional facility.
Gotcha.
They can come out of a treatment program.
Right.
They can come out of Faith Farm.
What if they don't come out of treatment? What if they're just coming off the street and saying, I need help?
Then we direct them to treatment first.
Okay.
Yeah. What our job is going to be, the problem is to attack this first year of relapse potential. In other words,
Right.
take them out of, they've already learned something, and now we have to take them and transition them back into society, because now they got to come and work in this world. They got to see all the temptations that are out there.
So is
That's
there
the
a
problem.
prerequisite for you guys to take them? Do they, in other words, I think I understand that the prerequisite is they have to come out of treatment?
Yes, we want them to go through a treatment program
Okay.
first of all.
Gotcha.
Because and too many people think that a treatment program is a cure when it's not. If you ask any therapist out there what the treatment program is, that's to stabilize the individual.
Right, it's a 30-day dry-out period.
30-day, 60-day, 90-day, whatever the insurance will pay.
Right.
Now, if you take the two Christian ones, Dunklin and Faith Farm example, that's a little longer. That's like 9 months. That
Now,
really,
that's treatment.
that's treatment.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's
So there are
treatment.
Christian-based, yours is not, but there are other ones.
Right, so what we plan to do is take them out of that and then structurally transition them so that they can understand by the end of 1 year. They're going to have lots of things. They're going to know that they can function in this world and navigate all the temptations that are out there. They're going to know that they've got self-worth again because they've been working at a job.
Right.
We're going to teach them how to save money, so they're going to be responsible. They're going to have financial backing behind them after that 1 year.
Yeah.
And we're going to teach them all kinds of other things. If whatever they've got, if they've got a hobby, if they've got a love, playing the piano, whatever, we're going to walk them through that first year, but we're always going to be there as a mentor and a protector and a coach kind of thing.
You know, it's interesting. A lot of people get clean. They can get clean for a year,
Right.
5 years, but then they relapse. And really the question is, how do you keep a person from relapsing after 5, 10? Because I got to tell you, I've done it myself.
Yeah.
I was clean
Well,
5 or 10 years, and
And I will tell you that 20 some odd years ago, I went to AA for the first time. I was married for the first time, and it didn't work. And it didn't work, and my whole family was destroyed because of alcohol. The last time I got clean was a revelation from God. I have never desired to have a drink ever since that day, 8.5 years ago.
Right.
There's a difference. There's a hole in everybody's heart. And with a lot of the programs, they're only addressing issues and temptations and that. And it's not, with us, it's not about that. It's not a battle for drugs. It's not a battle for women. It's not a battle with the gambling. It's a battle for your soul. Okay, so with us, it's a battle between good and evil. And that's the final thing. And you have to make a decision. You can't be on the fence. One day you choose to be with the Lord who created you, you're going to have success. But it has to be a total giving over of yourself to that effect. And that's where people struggle with that, because we all want to keep these little things in the corners, and then it pops up. You're clean for 5 years, then you can't get along with your wife, and next thing you know,
Right.
divorce papers are on the table, and what do? You want to go and do what you did before. You want to medicate. You have to have the strength of character. First of all, we would not consider divorce an option. I'm married now for the second time. God gave me a beautiful woman. We've been married for 7 years now. I've been clean 8.5. She's the only person that's stuck with me when I crashed and burned for the last time, lost everything. But that was prepared for me, and now, even though we have struggles in our life, we know where we have to go to make that right. Okay, so we have something to back us up,
Right.
and we use that, and we come together again, and we agree, and we know that we've both been wrong on certain issues, and that's where people they don't have anywhere to go. They don't have any fallback, and their only fallback is what they medicated with before.
one of the things that I've seen is people just forget. They forget where they came from. They forget that, how bad it is. Even if I remember, when I relapsed, I forgot about meetings. I forgot to pick up the phone and call somebody. You just simply forget. We're Life Addictions Recovery Show. We've got Craig here from the Victory House. And we're going to have a break now. We're going to do a commercial, and we're going to talk about, on the commercial, you're going to see the Recovery Pod. It's an MP3 player that's downloaded with audio. You don't have to do anything except open it up, turn it on, put the headphones on that come with it, and hit play. You can walk around, you can multitask, and a lot about this is repetition. And one of the laws of learning is repetition and recency. The thing you hear most recent is what you're going to learn and stick with. So, we invented this product, and we think it's a great thing. It's a great tool. You can go to the gym. You can multitask with it. You can do whatever you want with it. You can reach us, and you'll see the commercial coming up now. But I want to talk to you a little bit about this after the commercial, and we'll be right back. Life Addictions, the recovery program, has been under development for over 3 years. It's personal, portable, and more importantly, it works. My motivation to start this business was to help people with addictions, to literally help save lives.
We're best known for our delivery system. It's called the Recovery Pod, embedded with life-saving audio. Just open it up, turn it on, and hit play.
Along with your Recovery Pod, you get a 4-page laminated follow-along guide. What sets us apart from our competition is our message. It's uplifting, inspiring, and to the point.
My name is John Laus, the creator and developer of Life Addictions, the recovery program. Our model of recovery starts with clarity. Clarity from the minute you wake up and open your eyes. Knowledge and know-how. Know-how are the things that motivate a person to change and take action, like your health, your family, a life that works, and a life with a purpose. Life Addictions, the recovery program. Visit us at our website at lifeaddictions.com. Welcome back, and you just saw a commercial about the Recovery Pod. And Craig, I want to talk to you a little bit about that. What do you think about a product like this that's easy, portable? It tells you, go to a Christian-based place, go to your church, go to a 12-step meeting. It's free. It's probably in your neighborhood. So it tells you all these things that remind you. It tells you, you might want to get on your knees at night and thank God,
You better get on your knees at night and thank God. And in the morning, too, when you get up.
So, isn't technology, this is really...
Absolutely. We use technology all the time. I think I'd love to, now that I've seen your product, I'd love to get our principles and scriptures on there on the iPod, on one of them, for the, those that want to do the Christian recovery thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep. And we talk about that. We talk about many things. But tell us a little bit about what kind of technology you guys use there. You just mentioned that you use some...
We use the most incredible technology that you can ever imagine, and we use the oldest technology that you can ever imagine. Right here.
Yeah.
The living Word of God, and it changes every single day for every single person's, whatever their problem is of the day.
Right.
But we have all the latest technology in the church, which is the screens and the iMusic and everything like that.
Yeah.
We have a rocking band. We don't sit around and sing old hymns anymore. We have a real kick butt rocking band every Wednesday night and Saturday night and Sunday.
Yeah.
They have their own band on the side. So everything is up to date with us. But what doesn't change, what never changed, the most popular book ever written and most copies ever sold is the Bible.
Yeah.
And I'm in it day and night, and it's what keeps me sober.
So we're going to have you do this later at the end of the show. But if some of our viewers are watching, they maybe have to tune off for a second. give us a contact number, some information, where they can reach Victory House, you.
Sure. Well, my cell is always on 24 hours a day. It's by my bed, and I get calls 24 hours a day, like a lot of recovery coaches and mentors. And my phone number is 561-271-5365. We have offices, Victory House offices in Boca Raton. They're at 2880 Northwest Boca Raton Boulevard, number 3B. And that's where we hang our hat. And we basically are there to serve all churches. Okay, and we are under the spiritual authority of Victory Christian Center, which is almost right across the street. But we are a separate 501c3 nonprofit corporation.
Yeah.
And we're autonomous in that we don't want anybody to think that we're associated just with one church. We're there to help everybody. We're there to help all the Celebrate Recovery programs, and anybody really that wants to come in and is searching for their Creator, for their Lord and Master, really. And once we get them to that point,
right.
Scripture tells us by His stripes we are healed. If we're healed, we're healed.
If you're listening, I urge you, we have to get the word out to what it is you guys do. We have, like I say, CEOs of rehab centers, and you can find them in the Yellow Pages. But you can't really look in the Yellow Pages and find, you guys. I mean, I'm sure you're in there somewhere.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if you're listening, and I had a mom call me several months ago. She doesn't have money for her daughter who's relapsed over and over again.
Right.
She's bought a couple recovery pods. She goes, that didn't work. And I said, well, why not? Well, she didn't even open them.
Right.
So you have to really open them and use it. You have to really work at it if you want recovery. But Christian organizations, your church, any church,
right.
Craig's Victory House, there's help out there. You don't have to have $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 to go to rehab. You can direct them, right?
Right. You don't have to. And our program, right now we're setting up the businesses so that we can, I started to say this before, we're doing it the opposite way around that it's always been. We're starting to set up the businesses so that we have the jobs. I could fill up an apartment building with 100 guys tomorrow. What am I going to do with them? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're going to be isolating, laying around, and that never leads to anything good. So we've got a couple businesses started now. When we get another one started, then we already have a site that we have our eyes on for the residents
right.
and the clubhouse. We'll call it a sanctuary. Then we're going to do that so that we can provide them with everything that they need at one time. But money will not be an issue with us. We're going to be privately funded and self-sustainable. That has to be our goal, to be self-sustaining, to make it work.
Right. And for those that might be watching that might not be of the Christian faith, they can have a higher power of their choosing, or
we would like to believe, and we do believe, and this is what happens in our program. Anybody can come into our Celebrate Recovery program.
Good.
But we know that when they hear the truth, and the truth starts to sink in,
right,
there's a change that happens. There's a change that happens.
I agree with you 100%.
Light bulb never saved anybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Door handle never saved anybody.
Right.
My car never saved anybody.
No.
Got me home a few times,
Yeah.
but
sometimes it takes time for these people to get that, and you work with them.
Yeah, I mean, we're absolutely. We have people that come in and we just show them love. Jesus came as love. And that's our biggest message, and what AA got most of their literature out of was 1 Corinthians 13, which is the love chapter.
Right.
Okay, that has to be the basis for everything.
Yeah.
Love and respect. We tell them that God loves you, we love you, and we're there for you anytime. And that's the first and foremost premise to the whole thing.
Now, where are you based out of? Boca Raton, Florida? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've gotten people from, I'm guessing, other states, just about everywhere, right?
Yeah, I mean, we get people from the treatment centers now. The treatment centers bring the vans around. They see the value in the program now and how the church is exploding, and they bring vans from treatment centers to all the various Celebrate Recoveries. And if I just said in the last 3.5 months, we've had 45 kids, and I call them kids because they're usually in their early 20s.
Right.
come and make a profession of faith, that God is their creator and they want to follow him instead of drugs. And they go back all over America, and because that 30, 60, 90-day rotation through the treatment center comes, we get new people all the time.
So I'm sure you get some old heads there too.
Yeah.
You get a lot of 20-year-olds.
Sure.
Let me ask you something. What do you see? What's the new trend in, the drug of choice?
Well, unfortunately, it's it's Roxy's and that kind of thing, and I mean it's these pill machines, and they're just I saw on TV they busted another one last night, I guess a big one, but they're in business again as fast as you can break them, and it's huge business. I mean, and the pills is where it's at right now.
And I tell you what he's talking about is prescription drug addiction.
Right.
These pharmacies, these doctor shoppings, these pill mills that have been in the news in Florida. And we had Paul Sloan on last month, and he's the president of the Pain Clinics Association. Mm-hmm. And, Paul he owns 2 pain clinics, but he's in favor of all this new legislation and laws. Mm-hmm. It's just out of hand. And there's doctors being locked up. I went to a tennis shop the other day, and the owner was saying that his doctor, for years, just got arrested because he opened up one of these pain clinics, and he cannot believe it. And this is like an older, doctor.
Well, it's just huge legal money, or they think it's legal money.
Yeah.
I mean, and if you understand that the biggest threat to our seniors right now is addiction to prescription meds.
Yeah.
They're at home, they're isolated, they go to the doctor, they get meds, they're overtaking them.
Right.
They can't remember how to take them, they take too many, they take them at different times, and it's a serious, serious issue.
We're actually going to we're in the process right now of developing a recovery pod for specifically for prescription drug addiction. Right now, our recovery pod for drugs mentions cocaine, heroin, pills, whether you snort it, shoot it, smoke it, whatever. But it's so bad now, 8 out of 10 people in rehab are now in there for prescription drug addiction. And it's a whole different, a prescription is like a permission slip.
Yeah.
It's clean. It's coming from a doctor.
Sure.
And the pills, it's very clean. You're not getting your hands dirty with coke and heroin. But the thing is,
just as deadly.
Just that more so.
Yeah, we had somebody. We've had quite a few young people pass away just in the last couple of weeks, and one of them I met only a few months ago, and he just died down in a hotel room in South Beach, and the bed was littered with every kind of pill you can imagine.
Right, that's what it is now. It's
and
not
they're like
cocaine.
farming parties, they call them. They got a container in their pocket full of all different kinds of things, and here, take some, whatever you want. It's not like have a beer anymore. It's like, what would you like?
And it's clean.
deadly.
You don't get your hands dirty. It's like to pop a pill or two. Lindsay Lohan's just came back. No illegal substances, but they don't mention the legal ones.
Right.
The Oxycontins, the alcohol.
Yeah, Oxycontin is deadly.
It is very deadly. So if you're watching, again, we're going to give Craig another opportunity to give his name and number out. We're also going to have it on the site so you can see it. Craig, again, give that number out or website out.
Yes, my cell number and the cell number to Victory House is 561-271-5365. And our website is www.victory-house.org. You can go on there and check out our whole package, and give me a call anytime, 24/7.
Go call Craig, or you know what? Go to any church. You don't even have to be a member of a church.
No.
They'll help you, won't they?
Absolutely.
If you're a multi...
If they don't, go to another church, because it's not a good church.
Yeah, exactly.
Amen.
If you're watching, if you got plenty of money, pay for a rehab, get help. If not, go to Craig's place. It doesn't matter. If you're broke, go to Craig's place. It doesn't matter. Find help, get clean if you know somebody. If it's a small problem, I tell you, addiction can really last 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years.
When I get up in front of the church and get the chance to speak, or any kind of a group, I tell them all that every single person out in the audience, every single person has drug addiction or addiction of some kind in their family or their extended family, workers, co-workers, relatives, family, son, daughter, friends, neighbors. It's there. And they know it, and they choose to look the other way.
Thank you so much for being a guest on our
God
show.
bless you all.
Yep. And if you want to reach us and purchase a recovery pod, call us at 717-991-4755, and that information will be on the screen too. Thank you again, and join us next week for another great show.